Good morning. Well, it's morning here, 9:12. A little tired, stayed up a little late last night making this. Gotta give you a little bit of a history before I kind of get into what's going on here. Sort of catch us here kind of in the middle of things. I'm bringing, already made the wort, I'll explain that. Just bringing her up to a boil, and I'm going to start hopping it soon. Got my hops all set to go. Yeah, and you're probably wondering, yes, that's pink. Why is that pink, you're asking? Well, this is a honey beet American Pale Ale. I guess. I'm hopping it like an American Pale Ale, so I suppose it is. This has a little bit of malt extract in it, but the main fermentable is honey. And last night, and the reason why I'm so tired this morning is because, yeah, I didn't think it was going to take that long, but I mashed and decocted all this good stuff out of 9 pounds of beets.
So I took my 13-liter brew pot, I put 9 pounds of beets in it. Oh yeah, that was a lot of work. Yep, so chopped them up the size of about diced pineapple that you'd get in a can. And what I did then is add that to about 10 liters of water at about 180 Fahrenheit. I kept the heat on that and just kept it going and going, and for about 2 hours and 15 minutes I got all of those beet sugars and proteins and starches out and turned her blood red, which is great. So I strained it, put all the strainings back in the pot, and in another pot I got about 4 liters of water in there. So I put that in the pieces and slowly got what was left out of there, sort of a rinse. That's called a sparge. So that's how I both mashed and sparged 9 pounds of beets. Back to the main show.
Whew. It's a lot of work, you know. Anyway, so the beet is basically my main mash in this beer. I've added honey as a fermentable, a little bit of pale malt extract, liquid, and I'm going to be bittering it with Galena, Super Galena hop, and flavoring and aromatizing it with Citra. So, yeah, going to be pretty good, I guess. Just gonna wait for the break, and then gonna toss in the hops. All right. Check out the pink foam on this sucker. It's coming up. It's gonna be awesome, but I gotta tend to this so it doesn't boil over. Okay, so it sort of broke halfway, which is good, but there's still a lot of foam on the other side. I'm still gonna wait for this to come up to full heat, and that'll definitely give me a nice clear bubbling brew. All the sugars will have started to do whatever they're gonna do, and then in go the hops. This is blood red. I love it. Alright, so it finally broke. The foam on the top gave way to clear boiling liquid, and I threw in the first bag of hops there. So that's 71 grams of Super Galena. Yum! Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you what the recipe is as well on this one, just because, hey, if you want to give this a shot, you know, it's, well, power to you. This is really, really neat stuff. Right, so basically I got 27 minutes left on the first boil here. Then I'm going to throw in the next bag of hops, and yeah, then I got one more to do after that. So got an hour to go boil total, and then off to the fermenter. We'll check back in. Gabe actually threw in the second bag of hops, so as soon as he threw in those hops, when they hit the water, immediately I got a good, well, the hop smell, but passion fruit and, yeah, some kind of tropical fruit. Really, really yummy stuff. Yeah, man. I think this is going to be good for something weird. Oh, we'll see. Got one more bag of hops left. So we're looking pretty good here. Turn the fan off so you can hear me. It's got about a couple seconds left here. Alright. So what I'm going to do is going to set a 10-minute timer. Alright. Reach behind and throw in 1 tablet of Irish moss. There we go. So, just basically have to boil that in for 10 minutes. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the heat off and then set the timer for 5 minutes and basically unboil. I don't know how to say that. Just going to throw in the next bag of hops and just let the boil stop, and then 5 minutes later she's done. Throw it in the fermenter, pitch the yeast, but not before taking the gravity. Hey! Well, we'll see. Beer. Beet beer. Alrighty. So, what I'm going to do now is turn off the fan. There we go. So I've taken it off the heat. It's still boiling, but that's all coming down. I've scraped the hop ring off. As you see, though, that hop ring right there is not touching. It's not touching the wort, so it's not imparting its hopness. So what I've been doing is I've been just scraping it back into the wort, and every time I do that, I get this really strong rush of hop smell. So might have figured something out about these hop bags, which are awesome but very porous. So these hop pellets bleed this stuff out, and I do believe it would have to be scraped back into the beer periodically, which I have no problem doing. Alright, so the boil just collapsed, which is good. That's what I wanted. What I'm going to do now is drop these hops in. By the way, the second bag of hops was 40 grams of Citra. This one here is 30 grams of Citra, and I'm going to just set the timer for 5 minutes here. Too much. There we go. So, 5 minutes later, it's going to be awesome. So I'm just aromatizing this yummy Citra hop. So it looks kind of brown right now. I mean, it is blood red, but the green hops, you know, green and red kind of make a brown color, so yeah, that's what we're experiencing right now. But when it settles down and settles out, we'll see the nice blood red come back. Probably still have a pink head to it when you pour it. Yay, beets! Alright. So, okay, I guess I'll just describe it right now too. Once this is done, I'm going to try to cool this wort down as quickly as possible. After that's done, I'm going to go downstairs. Well, I won't get this on video, but just cool the stuff down, and then I'm going to go take gravity. And then we just got to pitch the yeast in the fermenter, and yeah, 7 days later, off to secondary. Alright. Alright, so, again, we are here sort of halfway through. I took the gravity and I noticed that it was at 1.110, which is very strong. So, I've added more water. It's going to be a bigger batch than I expected, but I think that's going to work out. And, yeah, I totally have the space to ferment it, so it's not going to be a problem there. Yeah, looks like we get more beet beer than we bargained for, so I'm going to keep doing the gravity until it gets to a point where it's somewhat feasible, and then we should be good. But yeah, that everything's working out. I like it. I'm going to pitch the yeast very soon. All right, so now I'm at a gravity of 1.070. That will definitely do it. Hello. So, all right, so I just gave her a good stir, gave her good aeration, which is something you should always do before pitching yeast. And yeah, I'm just going to go open the package of yeast. How to do it. So, like these Cooper's packages because they always require scissors. And done. 7 weeks, this primary will be all good to go. I'll rack it into one of those carboys over there. And yeah, ferment it for another 2 weeks. Rack it to another carboy for another 2 weeks. Off to bottling for 2 to 3 weeks. And then just give it a go. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching and cheers.